I've been on the other side of that cheaper than expected trap more times than I'd like to admit. You see a rowing machine on sale for half the price of the big brand models, you think you've found a bargain, and then a week later the resistance feels jittery, the seat starts to squeak, and you're left wondering if you just bought a piece of junk. That hesitation is what kept me from throwing money at every discount I saw, and it's exactly why I wanted to see if Sunny's magnetic rower could actually be a smarter buy instead of another regret. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first pulled the Sunny Health and Fitness magnetic rower out of the box, the first thing I noticed was the size of the slide rail, 48 inches long, which is longer than a lot of entry-level models that try to cram everything into a compact footprint. That extra length isn't just a vanity metric, it means my knees stay at a more natural angle when I'm at the catch position, and I don't have to feel cramped when I'm stretching out for a full stroke. The seat is cushioned and ergonomically shaped, and after a few minutes of rowing I could already tell it wasn't going to turn into a hard, unforgiving bench that hurts your tailbone after a short session. Now, let's talk about the real-world use case that matters most: consistency. I've been trying to fit a 20-minute row into my mornings before work for the past month, and the 8-level magnetic resistance system has been surprisingly intuitive. The knob on the side clicks into place with a definite feel, so I can crank it up from level 3 to level 6 without stopping my flow. Because it's magnetic, the resistance curve feels smooth. There's no sudden jump that makes you feel like you're rowing against a brick wall. That smoothness is crucial when you're doing interval training. You can raise the resistance for a 30-second sprint, drop it back for recovery, and the transition feels seamless. Who should consider this machine? If you're a home office worker who wants to break up sedentary hours with a low-impact cardio option, or a busy parent who can only spare a short window for exercise, the rower's compact footprint and quiet magnetic system make it a solid fit. The noise level is low enough that you can do a session while a toddler naps or while you're on a Zoom call without everyone wondering where the construction site is. It also works well for people who are new to rowing and want to build up technique before moving to a higher-end model. The 8 resistance levels give enough range to grow into without feeling stuck at the bottom. On the flip side, if you're an elite athlete training for a rowing competition, this isn't the machine you'll want to log your split times on. The resistance levels, while smooth, are limited to 8 steps, so you won't have the granularity that a professional-grade flywheel offers. Also, the monitor on this particular model is very basic. It shows time, strokes per minute, and total calories, but it doesn't connect to third-party apps or give you detailed performance graphs. If you rely on data analytics to fine-tune every session, you might find that lack of connectivity a deal-breaker. Another practical consideration is the assembly. The package includes all the rails, the seat, the resistance knob, and a fairly detailed manual. It takes about an hour for someone with basic tools to get everything tightened and level. One thing that could trip up first-timers is the foot strap. It's a simple loop rather than a quick-release buckle, so you need to make sure the strap is snug before you start rowing. In my experience, once the strap is set correctly, it stays put, but you do have to double-check after each session to avoid slippage. Durability is a common concern with budget-friendly equipment. Sunny's brand has been around for a while, and they've sold millions of units, which gives a bit of confidence that the design isn't a flash in the pan. The frame is steel, and the slide rail runs on low-friction rollers that have held up after daily use for 3 weeks without any wobble. I've not yet hit the 100-hour mark, but the magnets feel solid. There's no grinding or unevenness that sometimes shows up in cheaper models once the bearings start to wear. One hidden trade-off you'll notice after a few sessions is the lack of a built-in heart rate monitor. Some competing rowers embed sensors in the handle, allowing you to see real-time HR without a chest strap. With this Sunny model, you'll need a separate wearable if you want that data. It's not a deal-breaker for most casual users, but it's worth noting if you're trying to stay in a specific heart rate zone. Let's talk value beyond the headline specs. The price point lands comfortably under $300, which is a fraction of what you'd pay for a high-end Concept 2 or a water rower. At that price, you get a